Hi there, everybody. It's me, Tommy the Keyblade Master here. I'm going to be responding to Alloy7's Gamer Life about palette cleaners or cleansers. Basically, it's kind of a foodie term for whenever you got something spicy or sour in your palate, you eat or drink something to cleanse it so your next course will taste okay. And he's talking about gaming here. But first, I kind of want to talk about some of the sad news that came out today. It looks like Satarou Iwata, CEO of Nintendo, has passed away. Condolences to his family. He did a lot of good stuff with Nintendo, but lately he's kind of had more misses than hits, unfortunately, especially with the Wii U. One of the things I want to do this week is to sit down and kind of tell people why I don't want Nintendo to go with a regular controller like people are demanding with their next system. If Nintendo ever went with a regular controller, we would not have half the stuff we have on our Xbox controllers or our PlayStation controllers. Nintendo has created a lot of stuff when it comes to controllers that are good, but what I want from the next Nintendo console is to have a practical controller and the differences. But anyways, let's hope that the next CEO understands that, also understands why online social networking is important to gamers now, because Nintendo's falling down on that, as well as off the system social networking like we have here on YouTube is also important. And pray to God we do not get a CEO that's like most of the other Japanese game companies and like, let's all move our stuff to mobile and not worry about the outside world, because I really don't want to see that. So hopefully this can have some good stuff come out of this for at least us Nintendo fans, but it is some sad news. Anyways, let's go talk about my palette cleansers and do I use them. Well, I haven't really played a really long and epic RPG in a long time. I do like to play the Tales series, but I'm not exactly a completionist when it comes to that. And it takes a long time to really complete those games. You got to play them through multiple times. You got to select different levels, or you've really got to be in love with grinding. And anymore, since I've kind of got a job, even though it's part-time, I haven't really gotten into any epic games. In fact, I kind of tend to avoid playing some of these epic RPGs and sandbox games. In fact, when a friend of mine, because I bought Xenoblade when it first came out, because I knew the game would become hard to find just the way they were advertising it. But anyways, I had a friend who emailed that it took her about 80 hours just to get like halfway through the game, and I was like, 80 hours? I don't know if I want to play that. Same goes with Skyrim. I haven't gotten into Skyrim despite the fact that I have it on my Xbox 360 hard drive just waiting to be played, because a lot of people talk just how insanely engrossed they are into that and how many hours they've wasted. And anymore, with YouTube and then even with the part-time job, that type of stuff kind of scares me. But when you do play those games, and I remember playing Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy 12 back in the day, and those both took me over 100 hours to complete, you do kind of want to move on to something else. So what do? Well, I go back to the classics whenever I played a game or a game series too long, especially if that game is kind of dark and brooding and bloody, kind of like the Assassin's Creed or Gears of War. I tend to go back to my classics, my home spot, the games I played as a kid. I still keep my old games around for that reason. I go back and I play Super Mario Brothers. I go back and I play Contra. I go back and I might play Tiny Toons or Donkey Kong Country. Games that I'm very familiar with, won't give me too much of a challenge. I can breeze right through them in 20 minutes or less. Well, at least with Contra and Super Mario Brothers. And if I need to play them again just to have another good shot at some good fun to get whatever out of my system, I can. And I'm really good at those games just because that's the way games were played. So that's kind of what I do. And when I use the palette cleaner, it usually isn't when I play an RPG or finish an RPG. Usually I use it, like I said, anymore when I'm playing in a bunch of M-rated games that just happen to be dark as heck. And I want to go back to something lighter because, the older games really didn't need some of the dark, gritty tones that we see in modern day gaming. I'm not saying that those games that have those tones are bad. There's a time and place for them. I am kind of saying, though, that too much of it kind of wears on you after a while and it becomes kind of tedious or even depressing just kind of playing through some of these darker games. So I go back to my simpler time and play games from my youth. That's what I do. I would love to hear what other people recommend as their quote palette cleaners. My name is Tommy the Keyblade Master, and I'm signing out.